What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have a new tier list, so obviously that means we have a new set coming around the corner. Shrouded Fable. I'm sure you've already heard about it. You might have even seen me discuss it in our other tier lists and in our previous videos. I was under the impression that Shrouded was a combination of half a Stellar and Night Wander. I'm not sure. I read that information probably on Poke Beach, which is where I get most of my information. Maybe that was just speculation and I took it for fact, but it seems to be just Night Wander plus some cards that we missed previously. Now, I just hit the bench this morning, so I hope you don't mind. I got a little nourishment on me. So I'm always trying new approaches to these things, and I think this time around I'm just going to exclude any like items and tools from the tier list when it comes to golds. Obviously, we haven't done really A specs. So these are going to be Illustrator Rares, Full Art, Secret Illustrator Rares, Secret Rares, depending on if it's a tool or if it's an actual Pokemon. Energy might be the exception, but let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to talk about before we get into the actual illustrations is the reverse holo energies. They're not particularly wowing in my opinion, even though conceptually I like it. In English, they're always a dime a dozen. And I just don't think they're going to hit as hard as we would always hope for them to hit. You open up packs, you're probably going to have a million of them. I think the 151 English holo energies were a lot better. This is going to be D tier for me, unless for some reason they become super rare in this set. And the next thing is the reverse holos. Kind of the same concept. I like that they throw the Pokeballs on there finally. People have been saying, why don't we get those? Why don't we get those? So I like it, but there's no Master Ball variation. So it's just going to be normal reverses with a fresh coat of paint. They could have knocked it out of the park. If they put Master Balls in this one, oh, it probably would have been absolutely crazy. But like I said, the pattern also, I mean, it mimics the chain of Petrant. I get it, but it's just okay. It's just okay. Next, we're going to knock out our box promos. You've already been seeing these for a long time. You probably don't need to hear my opinion on it, but the Greninja, without a doubt, S tier promo, one of the best promos I've ever seen so far being in Pokemon to this day. I think the Greninja is going to slightly overshadow the Kingdra in this aspect, but this Kingdra promo is also phenomenal. And I think it deserves to be in the same S tier as the Greninja. And then the King Gambit, I think, is a solid promo. I like it. I would have to say, obviously, it pales in comparison to its counterparts, but I still think it's a solid card. I'm willing to throw it into B tier. Then we have our ETB box promo, and I would say, in comparison to the other promos that we're getting, it is a bit of a fall off as well. So, definitely B, like bottom of B, bordering on C, to be honest. We have our Duskull storyline now, which includes Duskull, Dusclops, and Dusknoir. These are all easy A tiers. It's not up for debate, okay? Everybody loves ghost Pokemon, okay? If it was Gengar getting all the attention instead of Charizard, no one would complain. Not a single soul. Speaking of which, I'm ready for an illustrator art specifically of Haunter, okay? Just my boy Haunter. That's all. Now I'm going to knock out the golds that we have on this tier list, which is the energies, and they're solid. Nothing too crazy. I like the gold energies, the secret rares, more than the reverse holo energies for obvious reasons. They're much nicer, but they're going into C tier. Golds usually aren't reinventing the wheel. They're just gold. So either you love it or hate it. You guys know how much I love full arts. Honestly, I feel like we should just delete that whole entire section. Full arts should just be for trainers. If I'm being honest, that's the only time full arts are ever actually acceptable in my opinion. The full art cards of Pokemon is kind of oh, is that a hot take? Is it a hot take? I don't think so. Next up is my boy Houndoom, and solid card, really like it. Probably would be higher on the list if this was just Night Wander, but because of everything else, I'm gonna have to put it into B tier. I think it's a card that's gonna get slept on, 100%, 100%. And then Cresselia is right there with it at the B tier, low B tier for me. Not super huge on Cresselia, but I respect it. We have full art Pennywise, aka Cassiopeia here. It's not a bad card. I'm teetering between B and C a lot. I'm teetering between B and C a lot. Beware. Oh boy, Beware. What to do with Beware? It's one of those love it, hate it kind of cards. It's just super troll in my opinion. How do I feel about it now based off of where I rated it before? And honestly, it's grown on me a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know. This is a tough one. I think Beware goes into C for me. I missed the full art. It was the Petron. It kind of blended in. I do kind of like this full art as well as the Pheasantipity, but still D tier nonetheless. Homegirl, she did dirty. You could put a projector on that forehead. We're gonna go ahead, slide her into C tier. Next up is Zorua, bottom of B for me. I'd rather pull the Cassiopeia. I'm kind of thinking, what would I rather pull? Next up is Fracture, and honestly, I don't really like this card that much. It's top of C for me. I'd still rather pull it than most other cards, but out of all the illustrations, it might be one of my least favorite. Now, next up is Whis from Dragon Ball Super. You know, solid guy, but you know, it's waifu or bust. So you're going into C. I'm sorry. And then this guy, he might be the only one to go into D tier. I'm sorry, I haven't worn a full red tracksuit since like, I don't know, 2012. Man, you got to do better. I really messed up on this next part, so just bear with me, okay? Now we have the Loyal 3 and Peturant in their illustrator art forms, and obviously Monkey Dory is like bottom C, and that's being generous. Pheasantipity for me is an A. I might be a bit biased on Pheasantipity here, okay? You know what? It's B. I'm sorry. A low B on Okie Dokie for me. A low B on Okie Dokie. That is also being a bit generous. Tapu Bulu is a solid card in my opinion. It's like middle B. I like it more than the Cresselia. We'll put it there next to Houndoom. So I kind of messed up and I put the Secret Illustrator rares in as illustration rares because the other cards were so much nicer that I thought that those were the Secret Illustrator rares. It's easy mistake to make, but we have Secret Illustrator rare Peturant right here, which I think is solid, top of B, solid card. The Pheasantipity illustration rare to me is better than its counterparts, all of them. And as much as I don't like Monkey Dory, this card is still better than most of its counterparts as well. Same with Okie Dokie. I actually think that this illustrator art is solid middle B tier, up for debate for sure. Now we're just going to go ahead and bang out these last four, seeing as I totally screwed this all up and I'm still going to release the video. You feel free to call me a jackass down in the comments for blundering this hard. Cassiopeia, Secret Illustrator rare, solid A tier. Persian, solid A tier as well. The Horsey, solid A tier, no question in my mind. And then Q-Fan to me is kind of like, in comparison to everything else, to me it's a C. I like it. We'll do top of C. I like it more than the Fracture, that's for sure. And I'm noticing something with this tier list, and that's that nothing in particular in this set made it into the S tier for me. The promos were the standard for S tier, and the cards in the set just don't quite reach the pinnacle that the promos are setting. You would think that there would be a card that was on the same level as the promos that they were releasing. Maybe that lends credence to why most of Pokemon's promos are kind of garbage, that way you don't like them more than the cards in the actual set, because in this case, the promos clear. Make sure to let me know what you guys think down below. Is this my worst tier list to date? Did I blunder so bad that you're going to click the unsub button even though we're so close to 500? Please subscribe. We have the Greninja boxes coming in very, very soon, so expect a video on that next. Have a good one, and good luck on your polls. Peace.